Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here, and we finally have confirmation that 2 additional marquee characters, 2 Haradrim characters, are coming to the game to complete the Haradrim team. The Haradrim team is data mined to be required for Witch King. Now, until it comes to the game or is officially announced, I'm not going to say start going into these guys for it, but if you are someone who likes to follow the data mines and see potentially where things are going, you might want to at least keep up to speed on what's happening with the Haradrim faction. But we're going to look at their kits as well as Haradrim month being announced for August. I think it's going to be a very cool thing, and this team looks very, very fun to play with. So stay tuned. We're going to break this down in just 1 second. Now, to be honest, the actual Haradrim month post doesn't give us a whole lot of info outside of just saying 2 new characters are coming to the game and this month we'll be focusing on them. But it seems like this is the kind of thing that should have been announced maybe before the weekend, and then the actual character kit reveals come out like today, like they did. But they all came out together, the kit reveals and this post. So it seems a little bit redundant to me. But again, basically just saying, you know, the Haradrim from a gameplay perspective are all about working together. They have a share passive ability with the leader, which we'll talk about in a second, which I think looks very, very cool. But again, within this next month of August, the Haradrim will be the focus, potentially meaning that very soon we could have a Legendary Witch King announcement, because I think they will announce that before the marquee events happen, because let's be real, they want to make money, make sure people, you know, buy the marquee characters or get them to 5 stars to get Witch King. But again, we'll have to see if that actually ends up happening or if that's just like some kind of data mine rumor that doesn't come true. But again, next month, Haradrim, very, very plain and simple. Now, the Haradrim we're going to start with is Tybep the Sage. Tybep is a leader and healer who is the one who absolutely brings this entire team together, mostly with their leadership ability, but I do want to talk about their kit as well. So starting out with their basic attack, we're just going to look at the kind of max level values. So their basic attack is called Fearless Advance, and at the max level, they're going to attack for 180% damage and grant Fortitude for 2 turns, the most wounded squad member. The next one is Southern Medicine. This one at the max level is going to heal all squad members for 800 health and 20% of this character's max health. So once they're in the game and we actually see statistically how much max health they have, that could really be a very good heal. 800 is definitely solid, but there are some bigger ones for sure. So 20% is not a small amount of their health. So depending on what gear level they're at, they can end up having a very, very large mass heal here. This is also going to grant Fortitude for 1 turn to 2 random squad members. So again, lots of Fortitude on this kit. The next one, the special build number 2, is Coiled Serpent. Coiled Serpent at the max level is going to grant haste for 2 turns to all squad members and cleanse 1 Bane from self and 3 random. So almost a mass cleanse and a mass haste grant. Again, haste means your character is going to go faster. So there are some AoE slows in this team as well. So if your team is being made to go faster, the other team's made to go slower, you're just going to get more turns out and do a lot more damage and hopefully win. So I think haste is kind of underrated, and this team could get a lot going with the haste and the slows they have in their kit. Now, their passive here, very quickly at the max level, is the first time this character drops below 50% health, they gain 1 stack of Unbreakable, which means they cannot be killed until that stack of Unbreakable is removed by, you know, dropping them below 1 health. Once they would be killed, Unbreakable goes away, and then they can be killed. So below 50% health, they get Unbreakable and gain 3 stacks of regeneration for 1 turn. So a very, very good passive that just means, you know, this character by itself is going to get an extra hit, basically, where you have to actually take them out twice, which could be a huge game changer. Elrond obviously has that in his kit, and it's a huge pain in the butt. So this one character having that is interesting, but the thing that makes this team, I think, very, very cool looking, and one that I'm excited to see how they perform specifically against the elves, is the leadership ability Fight as One. This one, again, at the max level here for what we're talking about right now, is each living Haradrim squad member shares their passive ability with other squad members. So it will not just be that, you know, the first time this character, Tybep, gets below 50% health, it'll be every single character in that squad, the Haradrim members, whenever any of them drop below 50% health, they are going to trigger an Unbreakable stack on themselves with 3 stacks of regeneration. So again, kind of crazy, and I'll quickly go through and show you the other marquee character and then the rest of the characters on the team so you can see how this is actually going to work. We did a whole video talking about this when it was data mined, but now it's actually official, and it's just the share passives, I think, is a very interesting concept. So very excited. In addition to these share passives, Haradrim squad members are going to gain 10% damage and 15% block chance on the lead. Now, Tybep will be coming first in terms of the marquees, coming on August 3rd. So really 3 days away from the point of this video coming out. So they announced these and are basically like, hey, 3 days, you got to decide. If they do end up being required for a Legendary Witch King or any Legendary, at least soon, you're going to need them at 5 stars if they follow the same path they did for Elrond. So that costs about $120. So you have to decide First of all, hopefully they announce it well before, but if you want a legendary, if they end up being required for one, you'll need to spend 120 on each of the Marquees, so 240, and get the other Haradrim up to 5 stars to get that legendary Witch King. So again, not saying they're going to be required for sure, not saying to go out and do that, but if you are interested in kind of future proofing to make sure you do get Witch King if he does get required, it's about 120 bucks to get from the 3-star they give you to the 5-star minimum requirement to unlock a legendary character. All right, now the following week, there'll be Beckalu coming out as another marquee character. Their event's going to start on the 10th of August, which we'll get to in a second, but they're going to be a support for the Haradrim team. Their basic ability is called Heartless Assault, and they're going to attack the target 3 times for 60% damage and inflict 2 stacks of poison for 2 turns. So poison is a damage over time ability, dealing 10% of the character's max health to them. Those 2 stacks of poison for 2 turns. Their next ability, the actual special one, is Serpent Stance. Serpent Stance is going to cleanse 2 Banes, grant concentration for 1 turn, and grant Deadly for 1 turn to self and to the 2 allies with the most Banes. So if you're getting Banes on yourself, we'll have some cleansing abilities and some buffs to go out to kind of counterbalance those Banes you got. So again, very support heavy so far with just what they're granting and doing. The next one is Serpent's Fangs. Serpent's Fangs is a team-up attack with Wabbat. It says here, you attack the target 3 times for 105% damage per hit. If Wabbat is an ally, instead attack 2 times for 195% damage per hit. Inflict 1 stack of Black Serpent's Poison, which we're going to get into in a second. But Black Serpent's Poison is absolutely disgusting in the best way possible. It is a very crazy ability. So that one does grant that and is a team-up attack with Wabbat. And then the passive ability here is to deal 23% bonus damage against enemies with no boons. So we're already sharing passive, so everyone's going to have this. If you're attacking someone without a boon, there's going to be a significant amount of bonus damage going out. So potentially Black Serpent's Poison is going to allow characters or disallow them from getting boons, meaning they have no boons, they only have Banes, and they can be just single focus down for a lot of damage. So again, lots of damage. Everyone's going to get this ability because they share passives with the lead. Assuming they are alive, they're going to get this. So dealing extra damage with no boons is the passive ability for the kit here. Now, before wrapping up, I want to show you guys the other 3 Haradrim. If you haven't seen this, you can see how they're going to work as a team. Again, we basically got 3 days and then 7 days after that. So 10 days from now, you'll have access to both Marquees at least 3 stars. But again, you got to spend some money if you want them at 5 stars right out the gate. They'll become farmable down the road. Exactly how long that'll be, we don't know yet because we haven't had that happen in the game yet. The elves that were Marquees originally are still not farmable, but it shouldn't be too long for them. So anyway, I won't go through the whole kits, but I just want to look at the passives so you can get an idea. I will say, the horizontal slash, this was the one that's in AoE slow. So on one character, you have an AoE slow. On the other one, you have a grant haste for your entire team. So slowing them down, your team up, that was one of the things that I pointed out. So I wanted to show that here on Wabbat. The Warrior's Pride here, when attacking an enemy with Black Serpent's Poison, you're going to heal yourself for 3% at max level, 3% of that character's max health. So if you're attacking an enemy, they have Black Serpent's Poison, you're going to heal yourself based on your max health. So obviously trying to figure out, okay, how do we get Black Serpent's Poison out? But everyone's going to have that ability. And so far we've seen one way to get Black Serpent's Poison out. The next one, and really the big one here, the Robel ability here, is on crit. There's a 50% chance to inflict 1 stack of Black Serpent's Poison, and that increases at the max level to always granting or always inflicting Black Serpent's Poison. So if anybody in the team critically hits, they're going to inflict Black Serpent's Poison, which then means if you're attacking someone and they have Black Serpent's Poison, you're going to heal yourself. We also have more damage going out if they don't have Banes. We have the passive that grants Unbreakable to anybody that drops below 3% health. And then last but not least, again, to help just get more Black Serpent's Poison out, we have Yef2 here. His passive is gaining critical chance. And when this character has no Banes, they gain an additional bit of critical chance. So again, everyone has increased critical chance through Yef2's ability here. If they hit a critical hit, they inflict Black Serpent's Poison. If they're attacking someone with Black Serpent's Poison, they heal themselves. They have increased damage if they have no Banes, and they have Unbreakable stacks, or a stack of Unbreakable they get when they drop below 50% health. That's just their passives. That's not looking at their entire kits and what they do. I think they're some very solid characters. And I seriously think with the Elrond team being so buff heavy, a Bane, the Black Serpent's Poison Bane, that disallows them from getting boons. When a character has Black Serpent's Poison and an enemy hero has Black Serpent's Poison on them, and they would be receiving a boon, that boon is prevented, and they get a stack of poison. So a team like the Elven team that's so reliant on boons, it boosts a lot of what they do. Having that somewhat shut down with Black Serpent's Poison, that not only like it hurts them when they get more boons, but it prevents those boons from going on. It could be very, very crazy. So I'm excited to see how well this team does as a whole. I've been farming some Wabbat shards in the supply store because it's going to be the longer one, I think, in the supply store personally. So I've been slowly working on him, just trying to get him up to like around a 5-star level, because if they do end up being required for Witch King, I don't want to be caught behind the ball. But obviously, we don't know that for sure. So stay tuned to the channel. Make sure to subscribe, because if Witch King is announced and is announced as a part of this team, or the requirements are this team, I'll make sure to post that as soon as I see that information come out. But let me know down below if you guys are excited for the Haradrim team. Are you going to be farming them up? Are you going to skip this one? I'm curious to hear what you guys think, because I think it sounds like a very, very interesting team that I think is going to pose a lot of issues for the elves, and I think it could be very fun to try them out. So let me know what you guys think down below. And as always, I'll see you all in a future video.